pick school counseling? Well, I was always really interested in psychology and helping people. I always really liked the idea of helping people. And when I graduated with my degree, my undergraduate degree in psychology, I hadn't completely decided on school counseling, but I knew I wanted to do something either in social work or school psychology. And then after a couple of years off and researching some things, school counseling seemed like the best path. So that's why I ultimately chose it. Well, I've never worked in an elementary school. I have done internships in a middle school and actually worked as a counselor in a school that was both high school and middle. And some of the biggest differences are just the maturity level of the students and where they're at developmentally. So kids in middle school and elementary school are much more concrete thinkers. They're not as adult-like, so you deal with a lot more um, concrete kind of issues, social skills building, more kind of silly interpersonal conflicts. Whereas with high school students, you're dealing a lot more with adult-like issues, like where are you going to go after high school? What sort of person am I becoming? Um, and so you can deal with them less on a concrete level, more abstractly about things. So yeah, the job is quite a bit different between high school, middle school, and elementary.
Well, we got no choice. All the girls and boys.
So you do wear a lot of different hats. So and that can kind of depend on the school you're at, depending on the role that they have for their counselors. But here, our major responsibilities are personal, individual counseling. So for kids that are just having emotional problems or social issues or family problems, we spend a lot of time dealing with those kinds of things. We also are responsible for educational planning, so making sure that kids are taking the right courses for their ultimate goals and kind of helping kids understand how to research goals for themselves based on their interests and their skills and their values, and helping them to be prepared for life outside of high school. Um, we also have some kind of clerical duties. We got to maintain records, especially records relating to kids' academic plans and things like that. Um, so I would say those are kind of the primary duties. But then we do other things. We help out we do parent-teacher conferences. We'll work on different committees that kind of help with determining school projects, school-ed projects, or working together with administrators and teachers, and those sorts of things. Also working on the master schedule to make sure that the classes are set up. Those kinds of things. So there's any number of different things, but the primary ones have to do with individual counseling, career guidance, and planning for future life after high school.
All the girls and boys making all that noise. 'Cause they find
Number one, you have to truly love to work with people and want to help people. That if you don't have those qualities, then you shouldn't be a counselor at all. So that's number one. Also, you need to be a good listener. It's good to have some good verbal skills to be able to get through the program. There's a lot of reading and writing and understanding theories and those kind of things, just to get through the graduate level work. So those are a couple of the big ones. Being able to not get too overwhelmed by some of the difficult things that you hear, and realize at the end of the day that you can't ultimately, you're not responsible for changing people. You do your best to help them, but at the end of the day they have to make their own choices. Being able to work with other people, especially in a school, you have to work with a lot of different people, not just other counselors, and you're working in a pretty big bureaucratic type system, dealing with parents and kids and teachers and administrators. So yeah, so those are some of the big qualities, I would say.
well, we can't salute ya. Can't find a flag. If that don't suit ya, that's
Yeah, as a matter of fact, when I was on my little time off between my undergraduate education and picking a graduate degree, I actually, for a short period of time, thought about occupational therapy because of the qualities of helping others. So it's a helping profession. So I think there's definitely similarities in that you're dealing with people at different developmental levels. You're potentially dealing with people and their emotions. You know, especially if you're talking about working with someone that maybe had a brain injury or something, and you're helping them to come back to some level of being able to get back to a level of normalcy. But mostly, it's just the idea that it's a helping profession. You're you're trying to help other people become better at whatever they're trying to do or overcome. So there's definitely a similarity there. I would say among the most common problems that we deal with is one would be anxiety and depression. Kids that they're just overwhelmed with life experiences, and truly have symptoms of, I would say, diagnosable anxiety disorders or depressive disorders. That we deal with quite often. Another one would be just kind of typical social problems of kids between friends, just having a difficult time with that. Family issues is another one. A lot of kids are just, their families are struggling, whether it's divorce or financial issues or alcoholism, things like that. Another major thing that we deal with is kids just trying to figure out what they're going to do with their lives, and what are they going to do when they leave this place, especially as they get on and they get into their junior and senior years. It becomes a lot more important to them, and so we'll spend a lot of times talking with them. And that can cause a lot of anxiety for kids as they're thinking, well, do I go to college? What do I go to college for? Am I going to have enough money for it? So I would say those are some of the primary things we need. I do really enjoy it. I feel very blessed to be here and to have this job. The relationships that you get to make with kids, that I've gotten to make with kids, are just amazing. There are kids to this day that have been graduated for years that I still keep in touch with, and to me, it's a privilege and an honor that kids invite me into their lives and allow me to be a part of their journey, and it's pretty awesome. And I like I said, I feel blessed. Now, of course, like any job, there are times when it's not always great. Like some of the peripheral duties that you have, like some of the paperwork that has to be done, and some of the day-to-day organizational things that aren't really the sort of stuff that I enjoy as much. But on balance, it's a wonderful job, and I'm glad that I chose it.